guys, welcome to the Saturday Night Thrift Haul. We go live every Saturday night at 8:30 Mountain Time. This week's live is pre-recorded because we're on vacation, but it's still a one-shot film. We might cut it at the end of showing items so we can get things painted and film that, but we're super excited about this. If you want to shop along, visit JamiRayVintage.com, click Saturday Thrift Haul. Everything is listed. Caitlin is on here dropping links and comments in case you have questions or anything, and we're gonna go ahead and get started.
All right, elephants. They look like they're fun, cute elephants, but these are the speak no evil, see no evil, hear no evil elephants, covering the mouth, covering the ears, or covering the eyes, covering the ears.
Oh my gosh, I didn't realize that when I bought it.
I know.
I thought that it might be. Desiree's gonna love, my niece Desiree loves elephants. She's gonna want that for sure.
And these ones are cute. Sometimes they're like real serious. These are like fun little baby elephants.
And they're little fluffy elephants, you know? They like to eat cake.
Yeah.
All right, so how much do we pay?
$4.
And we're gonna sell it for $24.95. We are gonna paint it. Noted that if anything has to be painted, there will be a 1-week delay in shipping because when this video comes out, we will not be back from our vacation until the following Friday.
We won't be home to paint it.
So we won't be home to paint it. I will try and get some things painted before we leave if I have time, but again, I like to under promise, over deliver. Just know that it could be an extra week in the shipping time. Just give us time to paint it.
All right, this is one of my favorite finds, these little wire cloches or cages, whatever you want to call them. This has got a bird on the top. Did not have a base. I was thinking wood round or something like that. But we found this dish that's really nice and dished out, and it's stoneware. And got a good glaze. There were a few that were like real red along the rim. I chose this plate here that's mostly like this tannish
red accent.
crock color.
Show them the crackle in that. That one is good.
Yeah, I'll bring it up close so you guys can see. It does have like one little greenish stain on there, but I'm not gonna sweat that.
I think that's part of it.
Yeah, maybe.
Under the glaze. What's the price on that one?
So it was $1.50 for the plate. And this was not priced, and the gal, I'm like, I don't think that one's priced. They were separate, and she's like, oh, don't worry, the whole thing's $1.50. So it's gonna be $29.95.
Not sad about that.
No.
Yeah, we're not painting it because we like the way that it looks. The combo is really good, and it fits. Sometimes when you do marriages, they don't fit as well. Like because of the lip on the plate, it fits very well together.
Yeah, it works really good. And you could even go as far as like, you could put like a wood round or a pedestal or something, or a candlestick if you found it underneath here, and then you'd have a pedestal too. But we're not gonna
flip it the other way. I'm just curious. Like, could you? Yeah, you could also do it that way because if you put something in the middle, it would cover the logo. Paint
it.
Yeah, you don't even have to paint it. I would just put something over the logo in the middle and leave it. That one's cool. We actually have a couple of marriages. The other one, I took a guess because I bought it at 2 different stores. Okay, next up we have these candlesticks. They were $2 each. One of them has a broken leg, so Zeb's actually gonna cut
Jamie bought them. She was super excited about it. And then I'm getting up at the cash register. I'm like, Jamie. And I just did this at her with the...
I said, well, just get one.
And she's like, oh, we'll just get one and take it back. I'm like, no, I'll fix it.
So he's gonna cut all the legs off so they're even. So one will be slightly shorter than the other, which I kind of like anyways. In fact, yeah, they're the exact same. So they'll have a little bit of a stagger, which is nice. And we're gonna paint them up and they'll be $28.95 for the pair.
We still paid full price, so you know, whatever, it's fine.
It's fine, $2. I'm happy to pay full price when it's only $2 each.
Yeah.
All right, you wanna show them our boxes? Zeb and I had a lot of like, our brains were linked because we bought a lot of similar things this week with separate carts.
Gathered together in gratitude. Great saying, but the vinyl is peeling off, so I'm gonna help it and peel the rest of it off. I don't even know that this needs a paint job. I might just, you know, because black is pretty harsh and it's kind of like a spring planter vibe. A wash would be really cool. Maybe we'll do that at the end of the live stream here, and we'll do a wash on this box and get the rest of this off. But the wood on this would probably cost me like, I don't know, I would say at least $8 to $9, and this whole box already cut, put together, painted dark for me already, so I don't have to do a base coat, was $5 at the thrift store. It'll be $39.95 once we get it all done and painted up and looking cool.
Yeah, I love that because we shop our craft supplies at the thrift store all the time. It's good for the environment, it's good on the pocketbook, and saves a ton of time. We also have another one too.
It keeps them from having to throw stuff away. We were picking up it's sad to think about, but we were picking up our dresser that we purchased and we went around back and they had 3 roll-off dumpsters full of stuff that either was broken that got donated or trash or didn't sell or recycle. So if it doesn't get purchased, it has to go somewhere because they keep getting donations and they put the new stuff out first.
Well, some of the stuff they ship to other places. They do recycle anything that's metal and broken. They do their best, but our thrift stores have, like, people in Utah especially, like, it's just, people just donate a lot of stuff. They don't, there are yard sales, but it's more prevalent that people just donate.
Whatever doesn't sell at the yard sale ends up at the thrift store or the estate sale or whatever. Like, people don't deal with their stuff. They just take it to the DI, the Deseret Industries. All right, so this is a similar box. Jami found this one.
This one doesn't have
also $5. We don't have to deal with any writing. This one is, yeah, it's a little taller, a little shorter, about same size dimension-wise if you're doing like square footage or inches or whatever.
It's the same construction.
Yeah, this one will be $39.95 also.
I wonder if the same person made it, like maybe they had a business.
No, because the other one is, so this one flares out a little more on the sides. The other one's like straight up and down.
And this is sprayed like dark walnut.
Yeah, they're different colors. I think they're different, just, you know, ended up the same. Let's talk about some frames here for a second.
We can talk about frames. Let me move some stuff out of the way.
So we got a lot of these little frames and we've taken like a week off from frames. Jami got the one pewter one last week, but usually we pick up 4, 5, 6, 7 frames, you know. We're gonna do the counting all the way to 10 typically, but when we're looking at frames, we don't worry about color. We don't worry about what's in the frame. We're actually just purchasing the frame. I had a picture that I wanted to buy that I was more interested in the frame, but the whole thing, like the thrift store had given value to the picture as well, even though we probably weren't going to keep it. It wasn't a bad painting. Someone had done a really good job emulating Bob Ross in there. It looked just like one of his paintings. But it was $25 and I didn't want to pay that much for just using the frame. So that's what we're looking for.
In this case, these were $1 to $1.50 a piece. And we're going to print out art for them. 3 of the 4 will get painted. This one I actually love the metal. I think it might be pewter.
Yeah, this is like the one last week.
Really, really pretty. They're going to be $19.95 each. What I like is the size. They're like 5 by 7. We should be able to get 2 frames per sheet of decoupage paper if we plan it right. I need to look and see what we have. Maybe
see which ones you want to do.
Yeah. So that was my
You could just use one of the big ones and find one of the like scenes there.
Yeah, something like that. We're gonna cut up decoupage paper to make art and then we'll paint the ones that need painted and they're gonna be $19.95 each. I love these all around the shop. They look really good.
We need to mix it up. Like some of our, we're gonna come out with.
We have lots of big art and I want little art.
We're actually coming out with some more paper soonish, but we have June 5th is the Cottage Colors new release of the 3 colors coming up. So we're waiting till after that. We've also got, are we allowed to talk about it? Oh yeah, it's already passed.
Yeah,
IOD has their release that they just did this week. So, you know, super excited about that. Pumped to be using those new products and making things over with those.
We're gonna be using some of the new IOD today, and it's funny, I feel almost like I'm cheating because it technically doesn't come out till tomorrow, but you're watching this in the future, so it's okay. So if you stick around to the end, we will be using some of the new IOD products that just came out that you can pick up at jamirayvintage.com at the end of the video on some of these. Also, if there's anything you do not want painted, watch till the end of the video. And then send an email because actually, don't buy it if you don't want to paint it because I'm going to paint some of this stuff off camera probably to get ahead and you won't know which it is. But normally you would just need to shoot an email. But this week, it's nothing safe because if I can, I might just get last week and the next week's all done together.
So this is like an industrial style dustpan. It's not old, it's a repop, but I just love the shape and the size of it. It is functional if you want to use it. Some people might just use it for decor. I like it around a fireplace for like ashes. And the handle, the turned wood handle is really good too. It was $4, we're selling it for $19.95.
$19.95, yeah, I thought that was really cute. I was glad you picked that one up. All right, we only have 2 clocks this time. One giant and one shelf clock.
Where's the giant clock?
The giant clock is around here somewhere. I think it's leaning against
Your mom was really dissing my clock.
She was dissing your clock?
I'll tell the story.
So this I think was like, I don't even know what the price is. You bought this. How much was this?
It wasn't priced. I got it for $2.
$2?
Yeah, because the finial's cracked on the top.
That ain't no thing. We're gonna paint it.
Yeah.
So we'll put it a little IOD clay. I love the shape of this. So painted, this is gonna be darling, and it's gonna be $29.95. It does open up.
The wicker's cool on there, but like it's got like this brownish ombre fade thing going on.
It reminds me of something you'd see as a prop at the Jungle Cruise.
Yes, it does.
At Disneyland.
Exactly like that.
So we're gonna take it less Jungle Cruise, more French country.
So this wreath is probably like one book, but it was $5. So that cost isn't there, but the amount of time it takes to make one of these, like you're looking
I won't make them.
You're looking at several hours of sitting there folding pages, gluing.
Looks like they also inked, or they were naturally aged all the edges.
That might have been the way they were in the end, but they could have done it separate. Yeah,
it's got like they're older pages. It's got this really cool patina, and it's very neatly made. Would not be that neat if I made it.
I'm trying to see. This is a Twilight book.
Really?
Yeah.
That's actually a good use for those. There's a lot at the thrift store.
This is one of those Twilight books.
How you can just tell?
So Billy Black and then Jacob is over here. We've
read enough. Yeah, you can tell by the.
Anyway, just throwing myself into the bus. How much are you selling this for?
I don't know. What's the price on that one?
It doesn't have a price.
Oh, hold please.
It says it was $5 at the thrift store.
Oh, here it
But
is.
what's the real value of
$44.95.
someone's whole day to make this?
I also made it $44.95. Actually, you know what? I think they did ink it because it's kind of aged on here. They did a good job. They made it look like an old book. It's $44.95 because the website will not charge enough to ship it based off of that price. So some of that is to compensate for the fact that's going to take a large box.
Oh, here's my big clock.
If you guys have websites like us, keep that in mind. So the way our website is set up, it's like tiered shipping. And we do that so that way people don't get overcharged. And then if I know something's going to be a lot to ship, then I'll like include a little bit extra to cover that. And then it usually just evens itself out in the end. Sometimes we wind up eating a little bit, but it averages out.
So I loved this clock, and Jamie's mom did not. She walks in, she's like, oh, what would you do with that huge trash can of a clock? She's like, I might put that in the back of a garage, maybe. I'm like, it's cool that it's galvanized, but that's getting painted. It says the New Era Paris.
The new era is getting gone.
I might try to pop that off since we're painting it. It might be difficult to get that off, so
you know
we'll
what you
see.
could do? You could put mold, like just get it off and then put molds over the top of it.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave the Paris part.
Yeah, as long as they don't stick up past where the mechanism needs to move, we could totally put molds all the way across.
But yeah, so this is galvanized metal, and then these are all welded on. They're raised
fun.
metal, like house number situations. But I just thought it was a cool clock. It was $10. We're gonna paint it, do some IOD stuff to it, and it'll be $199.95 when we're all done.
This is one of those items though, like if you were to buy it in the shop, it would be less expensive because again, that's gonna take one big mamma jamma. The box itself will probably take an hour to construct. Then if you've ever ordered anything from us, our gals are very good about bubble wrap and extra cardboard and all those things. So always keep that in mind. I know a lot of you guys are resellers,
so I just got that because I know you've been buying all of them. That's the only reason I snagged that.
They look really good painted. There are a little extra work because you do have to put primer on them or salt wash.
Yep.
But since I discovered their salvation solution to my problems,
yes.
It's really easy. And I actually am thinking that because we're not doing a paint-a-palooza this week, I might actually separate some things out and have you spray them for me.
Okay.
So like if this needs primed, I can prime it, let it dry, then organize things by color, and we can get the paint sprayer out, and we can get a lot of things done fairly quickly. So
I bought this.
Hold on, we're not done.
Oh, okay, go.
It was $5. It's going to be $29.95, and these sell really well for us once we cover over the Tuscany red situation. Mm-hmm. All right, now you go.
So this is a fun little block. Home the Perfect Nest. I actually just bought it for the bird, thinking I might pull the bird off and put it on something else.
No, I think it's cute. I was thinking like an IOD transfer on it or something.
It's a plaster bird.
Yeah, just paint it all
resin.
up and make it look more like art. We're noticing in the world of design that word stuff is kind of on its way out. So we're going to need to come up with ways to turn them into art. So another thing we could do too is just decoupage it and put the bird rice paper on it.
So yes, we could do that.
And then leave this bird on the top because that would be a fun
where we are seeing words is in organization. So like if you're real organized and you want to be all stencily and crafty, we're seeing lots of totes, lots of organized boxes, all decoupaged and decorated up, and words on them for like ribbon or
what it is.
Yeah.
Or old labels.
Yeah.
Old labels are always
labeling is not going away, and
hot
we've got some fun ones coming that we have never done before. It's exciting. We're excited about it. So watch for the fall release. I know we're barely getting into summer, but
the fall release comes out in like July.
Yeah, so it's like a month away.
It's coming. All right.
Favorite thrifted jar of the month.
I love the ribs around it. It looks like an old pickle jar.
Yeah, it's an old ball mason jar, perfect mason, and small mouth, but it's got these 4 ribs on each side that doesn't have the ball on it.
It's marked number 12 on the bottom. It is a ½ gallon, which is 2 quarts, and it didn't have a lid, but lucky for you, I'm a canner, so I'm including one of my very own rusty, crusty lids.
It says,
so if you do...
It says 12 on the bottom.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Okay, I missed that. So you can tell what age your ball jar is from by the color of the glass, but the way the writing is. They changed it about every 5-6 years for a while, so you can go back and like look at the logo and be like, okay, this was made in this time period.
So fun fact, this was 25 cents.
Yeah.
The gal asked the manager how much, and he's like, because the canning jars all have the same price, whether they're quarts, I guess, or ½ gallons. And he's like, 25. And I was like, $25? She's like, no, 25 cents. I was like, sweet. Because we had a couple extra.
And then the guy was like, $25, yeah.
The modern ones we keep, because we use the ½ gallons at home for a myriad of things. Buttercup's milk, we use it for dry goods, whatever. I love, love, love them. This one's going to be $18.95. I would say this is between vintage and antique. It's pretty old.
So this is a ball jar. This has milk in it from the 21st. When you're watching this, that's going to seem like it's old, but it's only the 23rd today.
Yeah.
But they fit in the fridge perfectly. They're easy to pour. You can get these like on Amazon.
I wish they still made them square though.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's like a good, because it's shorter. It's like a good use of space.
Although I like this particular jar, wherever we got this one from, because this has the measurements like in milliliters.
Is that one that I
side.
ordered, or is that one that we got at a thrift store?
I don't know. I think this is a thrifted one because it's got grapes on the back. The new ones you order don't have grapes.
Okay.
This says ball wide mouth. Oh, let me show you the difference in the labeling though. Like this is the older label and this is a newer label. I can show you that, right?
Let's get all specific about the labeling.
I can show you that. Well, it's cool history. Like it's.
It looks like you're so close up that we don't have a lot left. I promise you guys, there's a whole lot more to show here.
It's not showing. It's not focusing. All right, let's hide Jamie's face. All right, you can. I don't know if you can see that with the milk in it, but this one you can see the bee is much more bubbly and scrolly.
It's $18.95. At JamiRayVintage.com. Little commercial there. While you're
this
up
camera's
close,
killing me. It won't focus.
Well, you show them this while you're up close because it's got this really cool thistle on it. It's Silver Look 537. It was $3. We're selling it for $19.95, and it's really cool.
A lot of them sell. A lot of them that are in good shape. They're hand hammered. They're like $25 to $30.
Yeah. This is one of my favorite ones that I found. I love that it's divided. I love the thistle. I love the handles, the detail on the handles. It's just really good.
There we go.
Sorry, I was just like, while you're up there. Okay, greenery. I love to find greenery. This was $1.50. It's gonna sell for $9.95. I like the pot on it as is. And anytime I can pick it up secondhand, I do because it looks great in the shop. And greenery is one of those things to buy wholesale, so expensive. It's ridiculous. So I like to buy it secondhand. So this is a silver bowl. It's got a good amount of it's like a serving bowl, but it's got a good amount of weight. Like sometimes the tarnished silver is kind of
it's like really light,
flimsy, but this is a good weight to it. I don't see any markings on it. It is plated. It was $2 and I'm selling it for $19.95.
So I don't think this was forged. Maybe a little bit might have been hand forged, but it almost feels like it was cut the way that they.
It's wavy.
So it's like they had a tube of metal probably this long and they drew this out and then they welded this on the top.
So this is cast iron and this is wrought iron.
Yeah, and it might not even be cast iron. It might just be forged like that.
Well, it's
Looks
heavy.
heavy, yeah.
It's definitely weapon, like you pick it up, you'd be like, yeah. It was $2 and we're selling for $19.95 once it gets a paint job.
Look at my little horse. So I saw this on the shelf, and I think Jamie saw it too, because it was in the video from Monday twice. Anyway, I went over and looked at the collectibles, and they had a couple of horses over there that were quite a bit larger, probably 3-4 times bigger than this. One of those was $10 and one of them was $20, and it just got me in the mood for some equestrian decor. So I went over back and got this one because I knew it was $1.50. I'm gonna put copper all over it and dark wax it and age it a little bit. It'll be $9.95 when we're done.
Sorry if this is loud on the microphone. I'm just moving things in so you can see. We have about this much left also over there, so.
All right, here you go. It's holiday season.
We don't have a lot of, like a huge Jewish population here in Utah, so we don't find these very often, so I thought this was cool. This is a brass menorah. It's heavy. It's not like a cheap one where it's like thin gauge. It's nice thick gauge brass, and it was $2 and we're selling it for $26.95. It does have a little hole back here, and I don't know if that's for like the match or
I don't know.
what. I don't know enough about it. I've never lit a menorah, so I don't know enough about it. I just thought it was beautiful. So $26.95.
So this bunny, I also caught heat for this bunny. Jamie's like,
you didn't catch any heat.
This was hand cut at home.
It looks like a peep.
Someone hand cut this out. It's not mass produced. These little hearts and buttons are probably gonna get ditched.
I put it in the listing that they were gonna lose the nose and the cheeks.
I'm gonna peel those off. I might do some fun decoupage. I might stencil it. I might just paint it. The bunny will be good without it.
Like an overall floral stencil.
Yeah. The little bunny here will be cool without it. It's got a fun little cotton tail on the back.
We gotta fix one little
I gotta fix a slat. It fell out when I was loading it in the car.
I think that they just glued them on, so you might wanna just throw a little nail in each of them.
Yeah, I might just hit them with the brad nailer.
I mean, props to them for using glue, but a nail might be helpful.
Yeah, handmade and glued together. It was $3. When I'm done deconstructing it and then reconstructing it, it'll be $26.95.
I like it. I think it'll be good. Actually, once I start talking it through and like getting rid of the 3D element and then just painting this and using decoupage or a stencil, I think that'll be cute. All right, show them your, last week, I don't know if we showed you this creche that we got for $1.50. We didn't list it because we were waiting for a nativity.
I'm gonna bring the camera down. Would you stop knocking my nativity all over the place?
I'm like, these guys are never gonna make it. They're not gonna survive.
So it's a complete set. It has the 3 wise men. It's got a couple of sheep. It's got a camel, and it has an angel and the baby Jesus, the Mother Mary.
Normally
Joseph.
Way more expensive, but Zeb found these in a bag, so it only had one price instead of pricing them individually. So the nativity without the creche was just $1.50 for all of these pieces. Some of them have some wear on the paint, but they're not broken.
They've got like a crackly glaze on them.
Like a marble type finish. There's 2, I think this is a donkey and a camel.
This is a perfect example of when you find good sets or good pieces, just get it, and then maybe next time you go, you'll get another one. Because I found that creche like a week or 2 ago. Yeah. And then the set that is perfect size for that set.
Yeah, the scale is really good. So we have about $3 into this, and it's going to be $29.95 for the set, and we are going to leave it as is. I really like the coloring. Sometimes we paint them because they're broken or mismatched, but in this case they're really good. And Zeb loves the sheep.
Look at this little donkey. Man, that camera is killing me today. Will not focus.
If you want to see it up close, just look at the pictures at JamiRayVintage.com.
I wonder if I have the autofocus off. I bet you I do. Anyway, that's a sheep. You can't even tell. Jamie's got good close-ups on the website. The baby Jesus is actually really good too.
I'm gonna carefully remove this set before I knock it over again.
Again?
Again. It's very durable, even though it's porcelain. If it survives me, then we're good.
All right, I also, did you look this up online at all? Did you see any of these?
I did, so I looked up the pricing and priced it accordingly. This is a fun set. We each found part of the set.
Yeah, so I was going through, I was in front of someone and I feel like they were beelining for this I was, I had dibs on it. I was in front.
He had close enough.
The only reason I know is I heard an audible sigh behind me when I picked it up.
I have been the person that sighed like that before, so I feel that, because there was actually another gal at the thrift store, and she had the coolest church, like.
Oh, I almost got that, and I even had a conversation with her.
Church birdhouse, and
if
I
she
saw
didn't
her.
want it, I was gonna take it.
I saw that cart, and she had a French market basket, and I was like, dang, she got here earlier than us.
Yeah, she's in line early. We might have to actually start getting here before 9:03.
We got there at 8:58.
We might have to be there at like 8:45.
Mornings are hard.
Which means we would have to leave the house at like 8:30ish.
Well, sometimes Buttercup takes a minute to make.
I'm always done by 8:30. All right, so this is fun little. This is just a cookie jar.
And it's it's marked on the bottom, Twin Winton, California. So it's California pottery. And they're sold separately. So the cookie jar is $29.95. And it's funny because I saw these, they were not with a salt and pepper shaker. So whoever put them out thought they were just like tchotchkes, because they have the tchotchke section. If you don't know what that is, it's like little doohickeys.
That is a lot of salt and a lot of pepper.
And I was like, those are such cute
these
squirrels.
are
And I picked them up.
inside.
And I was like, salt and pepper. And Zeb and I have been looking for good vintage salt and pepper sets. So these were $1.50 each.
They still have the stoppers in them too.
I know. And they're going to be $24.95. And then how much do you pay for this? $4?
$4, I believe.
It's going to be $29.95.
Yes.
So you can buy just the salt and pepper shaker or just the cookie jar or both if you're really into squirrels.
I just love that he's going for this whole walnut here with his little hammer.
He's like,
It's like a Chip and Dale situation.
He's going to get it. All right, here, I'm going to pass that over to you.
Oh, you did get this. I passed on this. I didn't know you bought this.
No, I didn't buy that. You bought that.
Oh, did I get this and put it in the cart? In the video, I left it sitting there.
Wasn't me.
Are you sure?
I mean,
I didn't pick this up.
I don't know.
Because I talked about it in the video, and then I'm like, nah, if it was a mirror, I would have got it, but it's not a mirror, so I didn't get it. And here we have it here.
Shoot. Yeah, I don't know. I like it.
I like the detail on it. I just wanted it to be a mirror real bad for whatever reason.
Well, it's not a mirror. You could have left those 3M hooks in case somebody else wanted to use them.
No, I don't like them on there.
Okay, we're gonna repaint it. It was $3 and it'll be $19.95. I like the detail, so it's gonna look really good. And if you wanted to, you could put a picture behind it, but I think it would just be cute.
Honestly, it does have some hanging hardware here. I don't know why they weren't using that. Maybe they just couldn't get it even.
Some people don't want to put holes in the wall.
I would. Who are those people?
Lots of people.
Just
people
learn
that change out their decor on a regular basis.
Just learn how to repair a hole.
Yeah, but like we have all this shiplap. The reason why we don't have a ton of stuff up on our walls is because I am non-committal.
I don't know what this is made out of, but it reminds me of that. The pan's dirty. Did someone put that away dirty?
It's stained. It reminds you of what? Like a burner?
Like the hot pad stuff for a big pot?
Well, it's not a hot pad.
A hot plate?
It's gonna be a hot piece of decor.
So this, I think this is for like resting your knife in.
So it's for one of those roller knives.
Okay.
I've gotten a million comments. They're in Alaska, very popular. We did not find the knife with it. So Zeb's actually just gonna chop this off right here.
I don't like that it's got it on there without the knife. So, and it's got just about the right amount on this side to cut it off and get rid of it. And I'm just gonna sand it over, oil it, and then it'll be like a fun dished out bowl.
Otherwise known as somewhere Zeb would drop his keys and change. He's always looking for we don't actually have any of those bowls at our house. You just drop your stuff wherever.
I can't leave things out in visible plain sight. The dogs chew everything still. If I leave something on my nightstand, Cody gets up there and he eats it.
That is a true story, including your retainer.
Yeah.
$50.
$50 a pop. It's my second go round on my retainer. That little punk. He's getting to be pretty expensive.
Well, Rex has eaten a couple of my rugs.
Rugs are fine.
In case you didn't know, Cody's my dog and Rex is his dog. Actually, they're both our dogs, but Cody is preferential to me and Rex is preferential to Zeb.
They both love me, and who do they listen to?
And if I leave the room at any time in the middle of the night, who do they follow out?
They follow you out.
If Zeb leaves, which happens often.
That's because they know that if they follow you around, there's high chance of treat.
That is true. True story. All right, so we've got 3 of these.
So these are awful. Right? They do not look good as is. And Jamie's like, why did you get those?
They were real popular like mid-2000s, back when the yellow chevron was out.
Yep. I'm going to pull the backs off because they come off. This one needs a repair. The hook is loose, and I'm gonna either decoupage or put some art inside, and then we'll paint them all up to match, and the hooks will be really cool.
So this one they painted.
Oh yeah, they painted it.
That's not the original color. The original color
that
was
actually
bright
isn't a
teal.
terrible paint job.
No, the paint job's not horrible. So even though we filmed this live, you might notice a slight splicing. That's just because we can only film like half an hour, and then the camera turns off. So I'm actually proud that we aren't done talking yet.
I know, usually we breeze through it and like we gotta actually kind of hurry so we can get to some painting.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so this is just like the egg dish we had a few weeks ago. It's got a really pretty back. Let me pull off this painter's tape here. It was $1.50 and it's got the gold edge. So is it really gold? Jami says it's like real gold. I want to like melt this thing down. It's real gold. It's very common. It's indicative of the age. It's going to be $18.95 and it's thin. Like it kind of worn off on the edge.
Okay.
This is really pretty. And again, this is probably gold embossed. A lot of China has gold around the edge. Were you just trying to hold back a yawn?
No.
This one doesn't have a mark on the back of it, but I just thought it was really pretty.
I was thinking about gold.
It's got the handles on the edge, so it is a platter, and it was $2, and we're selling it for $18.95.
I got the gold fever. So our new property that we got, it has like a wash running through it. It doesn't run all year, just when it's raining or snow runoff. Anyway, there's like a huge rock in the middle of this wash, and it kind of waterfalls down, and then there's like, you can see where the water pools up, and we're at the bottom of the, like we're at the foothills, we're at the bottom of the mountain, and I want to like go pan in there.
I just want to see the waterfall.
I'll just put a pump on there and we'll run water around when we get set
Whatever
up.
makes you happy.
It'll make you happy.
Money makes me happy, yeah, that's true. In case you're wondering, I like the outdoors a good amount, but Zeb likes the outdoors a whole lot.
Yeah, like I would live outside.
So Zeb picked this up. It's so cute. It was $1
so
for each
these are
piece.
folk art. The camera's been fighting me today, but I'm gonna see if we can get this to focus. I'm not gonna paint these or do anything to them. They're just kind of fun. Oh, there you can see
They're hand
them.
cut, hand painted. They were $1 each, and then the set, I think I put the price on the bottom of one of them.
Little baby Jesus with his eyes poking up. We got Mary and Joseph. But someone painted these, you know, probably in their kitchen or their living room.
I'm perfect. They got a few dings and scuffs here and there.
They're
cute.
hand painted. They were $1 each. We're selling the set for $16.95.
Yeah, that's super cute. Another Zeb pickup. Eliza saw this. She's like, "What is that?" I'm like, "It's like a watering can planter." It was 75 cents. We're gonna paint it up. I actually didn't write the price on the bottom of that one, so I'll have to look it up. What made you buy this while I'm looking at it?
I just like watering cans in general.
I think it's
And
cute.
I thought it was cool with like the picket fence watering can situation. It's just good. Like I see stuff like this, I'm like, oh, craft kit.
That would be a pain to make.
Yeah, it would be a lot of effort.
It's got a lot of detail. Okay, small water can planter. That's $9.95 once we paint it up. I don't love the
75 cents.
speckled finish, but painted to be cute.
Yeah.
It's actually kind of going to be a pain to paint. This might be a good candidate for spraying the paint on instead of brushing.
Did you get these from the Riverton store or the Saratoga Springs
Those
thrift
are
store?
all from Riverton.
So when we go into Riverton, for whatever reason, we always find good plates. They have good transfer wear there. These cobalt blue plates are awesome.
I think there's an older population in the area as opposed to like the
Eagle Mountain
Eagle
and
Mountain
Saratoga Springs,
is
they're like
new.
new cities like 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Like they weren't even really, they were like tiny, tiny little towns 30 years ago, and now there's like 100,000 people that
And
live
they're
out there.
like where we live in like Old Lehigh, so there's like an older population here, but not as much as I feel like in Riverton. I just feel like that area has a lot of, so they just have really great dishes.
Riverton used to be the edge of town. Like
Yeah.
they were farmland, horse property, like out of town when Salt Lake was, you know,
So I looked these up.
the big city.
They're not marked, but they're French plates. And I found somebody that had 6 of them for like almost $100.
Wow.
Yeah. And these are the salad size. They're beautiful cobalt. They do have some scuffs on them, which is indicative of the type of glass that they are, but they're just so pretty. And they're $12.95 each. So I decided to sell them individually. So if you want them for like a project or whatever, or if you're a collector, if I look up the name, let's see if I've got it in the, Oh, I must not have put it in there. Fresh. I just looked up French cobalt salad plate. Well, anyways, there is the maker of this. Maybe by the time this goes live, I'll actually get the name in the listing.
Maybe.
But they are desirable plates. And that's one of the things with me when I'm thrifting, especially for plates, I just buy stuff that's pretty. And then I come home and a lot of times I find out it's worth quite a bit of money. All right.
So show them your other transferware here.
75 cents.
These are repops,
modern.
I think.
Yeah, they are from England. They've got cherubs on the top. They're like, I don't know if they're ironstone or stoneware. They're not china. They're like nice and heavy. They're the Queen's china. And they are $6.95.
So when we were there, like if they had the stamp for the Queen on it, it was something that she had approved to be like used in the palace or whatever.
Well, this says Queen's, the Royal Palaces, made in England, historical Royal Palaces. I don't know if this is like approved by the Queen
Maybe.
or if it's just that's
I can't remember all the details. If you know, comment below because we got several different like variations of that over
some things
when we were
are
in
like
England.
Queen approved. I don't know if that's what this is or if this just says Queen's on it, but
Yeah.
it's really pretty. And again, you're gonna see me buying a lot of plates and dishes because I'm trying to get enough to have a really cute set of mix match plates
This
at
one's
the
fun.
cottage.
No maker on this one? Oh, it does.
It's Japanese.
Oh.
I Googled it. Now I don't speak Japanese, so I don't know otherwise. I just
you have to
love the
reverse
overall
image?
pattern, and it's like embossed almost in it. Like, can you hold it at an angle? You can kind of see. You can
It's
feel.
like they definitely painted that on by hand. You can feel every dot.
Yeah. So if you hold it, you can kind of see it. Anyways, made in Japan. It's stoneware, and it's $9.95. I just really love the print. That's the only reason I bought it.
That's good. Okay, little bird. I don't know if we showed the elephant yet. It's got a broken trunk, but you can't really tell. It just looks like it's short, so I'm gonna leave it. I'm not gonna try to do like a big repair or anything.
Just gonna paint it?
That's gonna get painted.
This is gonna get painted, and the bird's gonna be $9.95, and the elephant's gonna be $9.95. I think the bird was $1, the price tag's missing, and this was $1.50 for this cute little elephant. We always love to get animals. They're so cute painted, and people scoop them up.
I'm on the fence if I wanna paint this one.
I put will be painted.
Okay.
You are fighting a yawn, and don't you?
I just did on that one, yeah. I ate right before we went live, and it's hitting now. It's like, hey, buddy, you've been sitting for a while, and it's nice and cool in the house, and you just ate some lunch. It's time to go take a nap.
We can take a nap when we're done with this.
Can we? I got to go finish getting that garden in. So this was $3. Jamie doesn't have a price on here, so I don't know
It's
what
gonna be $16.95.
$16.95.
If I remember correctly.
One of my favorite carved giraffes. Just the shape of it, the way it's carved, the wood. I like it. I'll paint it something cool. Maybe just do like a light wash.
$14.95.
$14.95, even better.
Remember the big giraffe you painted? Somebody sent us pictures of big giraffes coming out of the wall holding chandeliers. It's like, that is hilarious.
I don't think our giraffe was set up to do that.
No, I don't think so. All right.
So vintage, possibly antique, but probably vintage aluminum measuring spoons. Love them when they're on the ring like this. And this style, I actually have one exactly like this on the ring that I use like every Sunday making waffles or pancakes or whatever.
I love the embossed. Like, it's never gonna wear off because the measurements are embossed.
Yes.
It's
Stamped in.
$9.95, which I feel like is a really good deal for measuring spoons.
It also goes down to a quarter teaspoon, which I don't know if
Yeah,
I've
most of
ever
them do.
used the quarter teaspoon, but I love that it's there. No, I always just use the 1 teaspoon and I eyeball the rest. I don't use the little spoons.
Well, if you're not into eyeballing, there you go.
And if it's salt and it calls for half a teaspoon, I always double that.
Cute little enamel mugs. This one is blue with speckled. This is blue with the black rim. They're a little bit chippy. This one's actually chippier than the other one.
This one's cool because it's like rare to not have the speckle.
Yeah, they're each $3.95, and I actually think this one is made in Japan. So that one says Japan.
See, told you it was special.
Special. So blue with black rim, made in Japan, speckled. I love these for summer. They're just campy. I love them. They're great on display. All right, show them your rolling
didn't
pin.
even realize that this rolling pin had been carved. It's like laser etched until we got it home. It's $2. It's got a W on it and what looks like a tire track.
We are going to sand it.
That's going to get sanded down and re-oiled, and it'll be really cool. Probably the handles painted. It was $2. How much did you mark
$19.95. That's how much we charge for our stamp. We'll stamp it.
Oh, we're going to do the stamp.
Yeah, we're going to do the Rolly stamp. We have, and we got new IOD stamps, so I haven't looked at them, but maybe one of them would be good for that.
I want to use the new ones, yeah.
Well, if you want to do it on this video, you're going to have to sand that real quick.
We'll do it later.
When we get back.
Yeah, we'll do it later. There's a long list of things to do and reasons I can't have a nap. All right, so this is just kind of basic. This is even ironstone.
No, it's just a white teapot ceramic. $2. Gonna get an IOD transfer, and then it'll be $19.95.
But it has the lid, which
worthy to note that you can't wash it when it's got the IOD transfer. Sorry to interrupt, but
no. I like the little rim around the top, and then that it has its lid.
And you could like wash the inside, just kind of like submerge it in water or put it in a dishwasher once you put the transfer on. I just think they're so cute to display.
All right, silver plate pedestal. Jami got this in the collectibles. She ponied up and paid $10 for it.
I paid $7.
Oh, ponied up and paid $7 for it.
I was in the collectibles and it was marked $50, and I didn't even I didn't think about it when I said it, but I had an audible gasp and I was like, that's a stretch. And the guy's like, oh, $50? It shouldn't be $50. He's like, I'll give it to you for 10. I said, how about 7? So
it's very tarnished. It looks like it's been through a fire.
I love these. They're not super common to find the pedestals left, like platters and things.
And usually they're like awards or something, and so they're stamped and
yeah,
like,
it's great
hey,
for
you won at golf. Good job.
Little candy dish or jewelry, whatever, and it's going to be $19.95, not $50. I was like, yeah, no.
So this is a great little plywood tote. I was half a mind to just get it anyway because I like it. It looks like someone used the old and gray stain on there, and then this has one of our mini pack stencils. This actually might be one of our stencils too, but I don't. They might have just used the A. I don't recognize that.
Yeah, that might be from a larger stencil.
Yeah, they used one of the bigger stencils and just did the A.
But
I can't say for sure because I'm not recognizing that element. This is ours for sure. It's just fun to see like something stenciled with something you created. It's just kind of fun. So anyway, this tote, we're probably going to make it over and repaint it. Might do some new stencils on there, but great little planter organizer. This is prime example of something small that you stencil with a label on it and use for organization.
It looks like a cheese box.
Yeah.
It's going to be $16.95. Maybe we should make some cheese box stencils.
That's what I've been telling people is going to be the surprise. Because remember, I told you we needed to do cheese and like butter labels.
Sorry, I just let the cat out of the bag. Only a few thousand.
But I knew you had forgotten because you were like, really? Last week? You like totally spaced it. Anyway, I want some cheese label stencils, so those are coming. I was trying not to say before we even had them made.
Sorry.
All right, this was $10. This is the lantern of lanterns. It's got the roses and the vines.
Does the glass come out because
the detail up top? Someone screwed the top in, so probably can slide that glass out.
No, it's glued in. So I put will be painted, but I'm actually going to retract that because this will be a nightmare. And it doesn't look bad. I was just gonna give it a new look.
But we will get paint all over the glass if we paint it.
Yeah, Jami don't play that, so I'm just gonna do that now before I forget. It's nice that we're pre-recording this so I can like change it back. So it was $10 and it's going to be $49.95. Let me find the...
Really cool lantern though.
It is cool, and
it does have like a little ding, like it got smushed over here, but it's fine. It actually adds to the value, just so you know. The crustier and chippier, the better.
And if you were very delicate, you could paint it, but we are not delicate.
Okay, so I found this big pressed tin. A lot of times these have like a wood top. This whole thing is tin. It's got hanging hardware back here on the back, embossed, and then we're gonna paint it. Yeah, the brown, gold, brass, whatever you want to call that.
I just feel like you don't even really see the detail.
The brass is brushed on and you can see the brush strokes.
It'll be $39.95 once it's all painted up.
Okay, and then this topiary, I actually passed on it in the thrift store because I was like, oh, that's kind of dusty and dirty. And then 5 minutes later, I see Jami with like, you know, she's coming out with her cart. Is
this how I come out with my cart, like this?
Yes, you're always jolly in the thrift store. You
like junk.
Help it. But it's a good topiary, but it's gonna need cleaned.
I'm gonna spray it down and then hose it down in my shower, And then this is all wobbly, so I'm gonna glue that in place, and then I'm gonna put new moss on the top. You can pick up at the dollar store. And I'm also gonna paint the base. So the bottom will get an update. If you put fresh moss, it takes something that, like this looks gross.
Yeah.
It's gonna update the whole
that's like
thing.
some plastic
And I'll
foaming
clean
situation.
it first, and then I'll do the bottom refresh, and it's gonna be good.
I'd be shocked if you don't have moss in your craft drawer.
I actually probably do have some.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's $49.95. I never use a whole bag, so then what happens is I forget that I have it. I buy a new bag, and then I go to the drawer, and there's a half a bag in a Ziploc baggie in the drawer. So I probably have like 10 half baggies.
All right, so real quick, we're gonna pause. We're gonna take all this stuff off here, go get the drop cloth and paint a couple things.
We'll be right back. So I cheated a little bit. I already got started. I just painted the bottom of my box. I'm gonna heat gun that while Zeb gives you the lowdown on what he's doing, and then I'm gonna get painting this. I'm gonna be using the new paint inlay Trump Loyal Blue, this one. It's really cute, and I think I could just use like portions of it and not have to use the whole thing, and then make this box awesome.
I also cheated. I went outside and sanded this off camera so that we could have it ready to go. And I'm gonna use one of the new IOD. It's the Rural Scenes. It's like a 12 stamp. I'll show you in just a second.
I feel like rural is hard to say. Rural. I want to say rural.
Rural. That's how I say it.
Rural.
I think it's rural.
If you try to pronounce all the letters, it's hard.
Rural.
I'm just finishing this bottom here. It doesn't have to be perfect, but I like to paint the bottoms of things. Sometimes I don't, and then I just sand it, but. So
this is cottage color, and it's really thick because it's got left open, so it's like amazing coverage right now.
You can get these paint products at JamiRayVintage.com.
The reason I'm using cottage color on the rolling pin is that it has a built-in sealer, so once I get this dry, I can go directly to stamping. I don't have to seal it or do anything else afterwards or worry about smearing that stamp. I can just let the stamp dry and we'll be done. Yeah, because the stamp is permanent ink from IOD, so you don't have to. This is going to get pretty good coverage. I'm wondering if I should do two coats. Is that vintage linen or
yeah,
white
I'm using vintage linen.
I'm using white linen in cottage color. She's using vintage linen in DIY clay-based paint.
Yeah, I'm just going to, and you're going to see Zeb has pretty good coverage because it's raw wood. That is something to note about the cottage colors. If you use raw wood, you will get a much easier like coat finish than if it's like slick. If it's slick, it'll be more streaky and it takes more coats. So keep that in mind. People are like, do you have to sand? The answer is no, but if it is a sanded surface, the paint does go on faster and better. For sure. And this sanded up way easier. I used an 80 grit and then I did 220 to smooth it out. You can't even tell I sanded it. That laser etching was not very deep. That's nice. This is actually not the first time we've had to sand off laser etching. I feel like I might find something else to paint while this dries. This might dry faster and better outside. Okay, just we got a sunny, breezy day. I'll be right back. Okay. Well, I'm just gonna get this painted and then I'll heat gun it and put the inlay on it. Okay, let's pick out which part of the inlays we're gonna use. Nice thing about this being on paper is I can just slide it out of the way. My inlays. So this inlay comes with 4 sheets. On the back of it, they've got a couple of pieces of furniture and a really cool urn. So I kind of want to try putting this on an urn. And it comes in 2 colors. There's a creamy color too. Hopefully the mic was picking you up and not those 2 kids that just rode by on those mini bikes all loud. They say bad words? No, they were just loud. Oh, I don't know. We'll find out. So let's see, I think I want to do these like long skinny pieces, just one on each side. So when you're doing inlays, keep in mind that there's a cost associated with it. So like this box is $16.95. I'm not going to use it at $50 inlay on a $16.95 box. I'm just going to use a couple of pieces and that's it. I'm looking for copper. You're looking for copper? It should be in there. The patinas are on the far right top side. Found it. Where's that little horse? Do you know where the little horse is? I think I'm going to use these. Should I use this? No, I'm going to use the fat one. What? Do you know where that little horse went? It is in the to be painted box. Off camera, we separated everything out because we're going to drop, since we're out of town while you're watching this, And we're gonna drop off before we leave town the things that don't need painted. So if you order something that doesn't need painted, there will be just normal shipping times on that, because the gals will be on it. Okay, I've got my 2 pieces cut out that I'm going to be applying. They're a little bit longer, so I'll have to make sure I like center it on there. Let's get this heat gunned, and then I'll have to put on a second coat, and then they will go down into the paint in that second coat while it's wet. This is like hiding your... Did you even show them the stamp that you're gonna be using?
I haven't even showed them yet. I just teased them and told them about it.
This is the stamp. I think it's really fun.
That's gonna get used a lot, I'll tell you that.
You can make all kinds of scenes with it. Lots of artwork. I'm just gonna make sure this back one is dry. I have my favorite stamps, and this might be in the running. I like the windmill, the cow, the little cottage village there on that. It would be fun to use it on pottery that we make when Odelia's doing pottery. Like do glaze stamping.
Oh yes. Well, and even like she can do like little stamped detail in it, like once it gets leather hard.
Yes. Oh, embossed. Mm-hmm. In case you didn't know, our daughter Odelia took pottery classes, and we actually own a kiln and a wheel. And so our plan is by the fall to have it set up. She has requested a better wheel. She's
like, Dad, that wheel you got's real cheap.
Well, she might have to use it.
I'm like, well, we're not real good at it yet, so I got a cheap wheel just in case we never did anything with this at all.
She might have to use it and then figure it out. Okay, I'm going to measure the center of my box.
So this horse wasn't bad. It just, the current finish on it, it's resin, and it made it look plasticky. I want to get rid of the plasticky look.
So 6.5.
But you finding center on your box. Right after this, it'll already, you might have already seen a video on it by the time this comes out, but we've got to go get in the garden and finish that up. So don't hold me to it, but there might be a garden video on the Jami and Zeb channel. And if you haven't seen it, be like, hey, where's my video? We're gonna go put the garden in after this.
Sorry, I don't mean to be whacking you with this.
Oh, you're okay.
It's not really optimum for the current task at hand.
I don't know that you could whack me hard enough to bother me with that. Unless you were like intentionally hitting me with it.
That's good.
I'm not challenging you to do that.
I'm not gonna intentionally hit you. Okay, I found the center. It's okay that I made a little mark because there's like a circle ball in the center of this, so. It just made a dimple, so hopefully I can find the dimple. Didn't think that one through.
You were doing so good marking that.
I know, right? Yeah, I see the dimple. And then I gotta keep the dimple. And, oh. There we go. I'm committed. After you put your inlay down, and actually if I wanted to, I could just do an inlay just on the one side, like on the front. I think I might, because I'm always teaching you guys like cost, benefit, like these inlays not super cheap. So I'm not going to use a ton of inlay on the 14.
Well, you used like one tiny little strip on that box so far.
I know, I was going to do 2, but I think I'm just going to do one on the front. Or should I do one? I'm going to do both sides.
I would do both sides because that might end up like on a little coffee table or...
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking. So, okay. You can use a squirt bottle if you want. I just like to use a damp rag. I just feel like it's more precise and I can kind of push it down. I'm just gonna heat gun it a little bit just so it's not like drippy.
Okay. Let me go grab some dark wax.
This side's gonna be trickier because I can't lay it flat because the other side's still a little damp. Hopefully I can still see that dimple in there. Once I get these on, I will go ahead and repaint the sides that I didn't do earlier so that way those are nice and not streaky. I'm just gonna lay this down. I'm gonna take a chance. Take a chance on me. It is nice because it's a repetitive design, so it is a little easier to eyeball. Well, it's not perfect. Looks good.
Let me show you my tiny little horse. I think this was $9.95 is what this was.
Oh, there's also a grid system that would have been helpful to pay attention to.
Yeah. It's so much better copper. Like, look how cool that is now. I missed the spot. Gotta paint that real quick. Oh, I missed a bunch of spots on this side.
All right.
Must not have rotated that around.
So the difference between a paint inlay and a paint transfer is this actually sits down into the paint on your piece, whereas a transfer is like a thin vinyl sticker. So you have to inlay it. That's why the paint has to be wet. So you have to inlay it into the paint. So if you're gonna need 2 coats, lay the first coat down, then have your inlay ready to go when you put your second coat down so you can put it into the wet paint.
Well, and the nice thing about these inlays is you can get multiple uses out of them if you're careful peeling them off.
I am not super careful, but I have done it before. If I can do it, it can be done. Because I'm not super meticulous. Second coat this. Once I get the second coat on everywhere, then I'll go ahead and heat gun that inlay. It's not recommended, better to just let it dry for 15 minutes, but we do not have time, so. Oh, that's pretty. Are you gonna do, oh, you're dark waxing it? Did you just do 1 coat of the copper?
No, it's like 2.5 coats. It was pretty shiny.
What color are you going to paint that? Do you wanna use, I bet you we could use one of the new cottage colors for the handles. Because we have enough.
Is there enough?
Yeah.
Because I was gonna mix these 2 with the white, the cottage color, the white linen.
Yeah, no, we have enough. We can do cottage color.
I like that idea
Cottage color,
better.
in case you guys didn't know, is being released the week we get back.
June 5th.
So June 5th, mark your calendars. You will be able to buy it from us or your local retailer. Just double check with them and make sure they have it. If they don't, we're happy to ship it to you. JamiRayVintage.com.
I'm gonna do Blue Hills.
They're not required to carry it, so that's why you always want to check and make sure they have it. So an important thing when you're doing the inlays, when the image becomes like not as like see-through and dull, that's when you know that the paint is dry. Because when you get it wet, the image is darker and then it dries out and the paper gets less transparent. A lot of times people think the inlays are really complicated. I've done them on the fly like this so many times, and because I like kind of an imperfect look, it's not super hard.
All right, so I let this wax sit on this horse for just a minute because I wanted it to, it was a little warm and liquidy. And I wanted it to sit down in those cracks a little better, not just all just peel right off. It was warm from me heat gunning it.
You want your rag to be nice and wet, but not drippy. You don't want paint dripping all over the place.
We're giving you like 18 tips in a row, like Jamie and me, and then me.
Or tag teaming on the tips. Okay. Just making sure that's nice and in there. And if it blurs a little bit, all the better, because then it looks like flow blue china. Okay, let's see. Should I go up close?
I think so.
Okay.
I think they need a close-up.
I feel like I haven't done this. Like, there's a lot of people that have done this way more than me. I'm definitely by no means a inlay expert.
All right, while you're up there, show them my horse.
All right.
And then I'm gonna go grab my rolling pin and stamp it.
Here you go. Now the paint's gonna look a little different in the middle because the white is wet. But look at that. So if you save this and lay it flat to dry, paint side up, then you could get a second use out of it. I am not doing a very good job of that. Okay, so that's that side. Then we're gonna do the other side. Oh, and here's Zeb's horse while I'm at it. This is copper, patina, and dark wax, also available at JamiRayVintage.com.
Do we have some 220? I got like a little bubble in this.
I'm gonna heat gun this. Now, here's the other thing. I am going to just seal it, but if you're worried about it smearing, you want to do a mister bottle with half sealer, water, so a water-based sealer, and set the paint so it doesn't smear. I'm pretty good about brushing lightly so it doesn't smear, but if you have a problem with that, something to keep in mind. Or if you have like a spray gun that you can put the sealer in, just spray the sealer on at least the first coat.
So this has, I think all their new stamps come with the reusable masks.
Yes, they do now. All right.
Oh, it's a two-parter. I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, there's 2 sheets.
I'm going with this windmill one. This
there's like
one
some
has
lines
like some
on it.
really good. You could do scenes for days. You just build your own whole little village and countryside. Watch for that coming because I want to do it.
How to build a village.
Yeah.
You got to step away from a few projects and do a Furniture Friday with me.
I do.
Because when we get back, it's like cottage season. We've got to get that cottage renovated.
It's costing me money not being done.
Make sure that you guys are subscribed and following all of our pages because the cottage renovation is going to be so awesome.
Well, we're going to take it completely back to the studs and then show you kind of some, and it's going to be easy. It'll be faster than our normal builds because it's like doing 1.5 rooms, 2 rooms. It's only 500 square feet. So like the kitchen will happen in a week instead of like over the course of a few months. Okay, season it, just opened it up. 220 grit sandpaper on the top side of the stamp, not the back side. I'm just gonna season it really quick so that it holds this ink better. If you don't do this, it's got kind of like almost like an oily, rubbery film to it, like a silicone film, and it won't hold your paint or your inks as well. Oh, there's a tiny little sheep.
Is so excited about that tiny little sheep. The listing for these items will actually show the finished product because it's actually finished, but I'll keep the before in there and just mark before on that.
Did I just splatter ink over there? How did that happen?
What'd you do?
I don't know.
I'm gonna come in. I wasn't planning on painting the inside of this, so I'm gonna wipe this paint off. It's water soluble, so until it's sealed. So I'm gonna clean up the inside here because I like the two-tone of the grayed out wood inside.
I must have had something on my hand and touched this.
Oh, dark wax?
No, it was ink.
Oh no.
Problem solved. Fixed it. Now I just need to heat gun.
Look what you did. Okay, I'm just gonna lightly distress the edges of this. I don't actually have to distress the image because I didn't get a perfect release because I was not patient. But I'm just kind of bringing out that gray undertone. When you guys are thrifting, make sure you're always looking at what the base color is and then work with it instead of against it to try to create a look that looks intentional, like, oh, I wanted that base color on there.
All right, this is the IOD Decor ink. It's permanent. So once
actually, I could just
this dries, I don't have to seal this.
I just don't want to get it wet where my inlay is, so I was trying to be careful. All right, now I got a heat gun where I got it wet. We're almost finished here. I'm a mess. Not that that's shocking to anybody that's followed me for a while.
I missed the horse a little somehow. We're going with it. It's aged.
Oh, I like that. Let it dry completely. You might be able to like touch it up if you want to. But I think it's cool.
No, I'm not gonna mess with it. It's too hard to line up. I'll get too much ghosting. At this point, if I was gonna do it, you'd have to just repaint it.
Yeah, it's all right because it's distressed. If you let it dry all the way, you can distress that ink. Okay, this is dry.
I'm gonna move that out of the way.
Here it is.
Handles.
dry with a little distressed. I left the inside gray. I'll wipe it out later. It's got some dust in it. Okay.
Can you open that for me?
Sure can. So what I would do, Zeb, you washed out the copper brush. Yeah, you're gonna use that one.
Yep.
So we have just, this is the Americana?
No. Blue
you sure?
Hills.
Are you sure? Mm-hmm. Okay, it's Blue Hills. It's gonna be watered down because that came out of the paint sprayer.
It is, so I might have to put a couple coats.
I was gonna say, I have Americana here and some crockery.
So Blue Hills is kind of like a smoky blue. Don't you worry, I'm gonna smoky it up even more. I'm excited to add gray skies to this and see if I can get like a skeleton key type color. I really pushed for this color when we got it because it's more of a true blue than haint blue is. And so you can mix more colors with it and get more shades. It's like a, not quite a primary blue, but still good.
I came over here, I was like, what did I come over here for?
I actually got really good coverage even though this is watered down with one coat on here.
Would you do me a favor and open this big top for me?
I can't set this down. So give me just a second and I will.
Let me heat gun that.
Here, run that under the sink under hot water for like 30 seconds and you'll be able to open it.
Well, there's not very much in here, so I'm wondering if I should grab a different sealer.
Maybe.
I don't know
your
what.
wall turned out really good. Or your paint inlay. What's that one called?
Oh gosh, it's like...
Put you on the spot.
No, it's just hard to pronounce.
Oh.
It's French.
It's this one.
Trompe l'oeil bleu. L'oeil. I don't know. Somebody's gonna correct me and they're gonna be right. All right, this still needs to go under the water, but.
That darkened up real nice there.
That's so pretty. It's just like such a nice blue, and it's not like a baby blue, and
it's very smoky, which is why we called it
Blue
why
Hills.
we called it Blue Hills. Excuse me.
There we go. Okay, so you don't want to smear your inlay. If you're worried about it, then do what I said with using the spray method. Or you can do what I'm doing and just brush it on. Don't overwork it like that, and you're good to go. The nice thing about these DIY brushes is they're super soft, so they don't have any like stiff bristles that are gonna pull and activate the paint.
Or are you gonna wash that out right away?
Yes, but I was gonna say, you need to wash it right away. Do not leave that sealer on there because these brushes are very, very soft. So I'm just gonna get this sealed up and then my piece will be done. And I'm not overworking it. Like if you have a little drip, like you best not overwork that. So just fast and soft. That's the trick if you don't wanna have to use the spray method to set the inlay.
So same as the white linen, the cottage colors, this Blue Hills has a built-in sealer in it, so I'm done. Like I don't need to distress. If I do distress, that's fine. I'm still good to go.
You see how I'm washing out this sealer right away? You don't want to let your sealer dry on your brush. These are very soft bristles made to be used with DIY paint, or in this application, they're so soft over that inlay. Now the second time, if I do a second coat, it's already set, so it won't be as critical. I'm just gonna heat gun this kind of quick so that way we can show them what it looks like. Now we got 2 projects done with the new IOD.
3, I did the horse.
Oh, well,
with
no,
the
not
new IOD, yeah. But we did get 3 projects done here pretty quick.
Yeah, so if you order these, they're finished, and they will ship without the extra week of waiting.
All right, where'd my little horse go?
It's around there.
Just like that, how long have we been live? How long did that
go.
take us to paint?
Look how cute that is. I'm gonna let it dry up
24
on its
minutes.
own. Oh, that's not too bad. Yeah, I think we did good. All right, for the paint and products used here today, visit JamiRayVintage.com and don't forget to mark your calendars June 5th for the new cottage color release for the 3 newest colors. Give us a thumbs up and subscribe to Jami Ray Vintage for more
DIY.
Bye, you guys. See you when we get back.